Fun times in Cleveland ahead as we join you by the Lakeshore here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Today, week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Cleveland Browns. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Come on, come on. Hey.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Now he is going to be stopped cold. Scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. You look at this Browns defense. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week. That pressure on the QB is key. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game. Plus a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Stroud on third down now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They'll run on first down. Harrell, he'll get this to about the 38. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harrell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Check.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete here to Ayuk. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Touchdown, Texans! A great play there third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are on the board first here this afternoon. The touchdown giving them the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Stroud. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Rhodes. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Off the play fake. Rhodes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You look at the defense for these Texans, and they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out. Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Now a throw here, hauled in. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their 3rd in a row. And the question, is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Rhodes. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Break.
21-0 our score after one. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready? 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Operating from the gun. Rhodes. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They'll look to throw again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play action. Rhodes under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one is right through.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further. And you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Come on.
Here's 3rd and 10. Stroud sets up the play action. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Got it. Ready?
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. He's got Ayuk once again.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
They'll find Ayuk open right side.
A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the 1st. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a 2nd and 10.
And they'll send the slot in motion left.
He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere.
60 Vikings. 60 Vikings.
48-yard line.
Dragon 60.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 26. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 56 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run?
Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Ayuk from 4 yards out. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Rhodes.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off.
And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Reload.
Harris running straight ahead.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Here we go.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Hawk 70. Cougar 19.
Now a handoff up the middle. Harrell, he'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now here's Stroud on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown! A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans are pouring it on. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off the play fake. Rhodes. He finds his man complete. It's Barnett. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
26 big yards on that one. It's another 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Rhodes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again, he'll drop to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down right around the 18-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Browns 3.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Browns drive about to get started.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Rhodes.
Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
The mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. That one complete. It's tanked down.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Taken in by Bryant.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Again to Bryant, and again it's caught.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
On first down,
Harrell. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10.
He ran it last time. Now Stroud will throw it. Got his man, Dell.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now a give right side. Harrell. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Stroud looking to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick is good.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rhodes.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
On 3rd and 2, Rhodes. Able to find the open man. complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second down and 8.
Off play action. Rhodes. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. 3/4 in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Throwing on 1st down. Rhodes. He's got it. Touchdown, Browns. Jalen Hyatt, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball to the 25.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time, as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Hughes. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And the Texans first down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Stroud here on 3rd and long.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Off the play fake. Rhodes. He finds his man. Complete. It's Barnett. And he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go.
From the 33, here's 2nd and a couple.
They'll look to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The Texans send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Fielded just inside the 30. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The extra point hits the left upright but goes through anyway. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st down, and that is the big one, as they should be able to run it out from here.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the 1st quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Houston, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.